If you're feeling embarrassed, you can use that emotion as fuel for your clutter clearing. Today I'm going to tell you how to do that. My name is Rick Aster. I am the shamanic economist. That means I am always talking about the spiritual side of your material life. Now, to look at embarrassment, you would say, well, if I'm feeling embarrassed, you'd probably say I should stop feeling embarrassed because embarrassment doesn't feel good and it's not really a constructive emotion. And maybe you're feeling ashamed. It's really the same thing. But you can use these emotions for the purposes of your clutter clearing. And this is going to work best if it's like a rainy day and you're home for an hour and you don't know what else you would do. You can, instead of worrying about how embarrassed you feel, you can use that to drive your clutter clearing effort. So to understand this, first I want to say that I think you'll recognize that in the world there's a certain energy that wants you to go shopping when you're feeling ashamed or embarrassed, that you're going to go buy some things that'll have you feeling better about yourself. And I want to explain why you shouldn't take that approach, and then it'll make more sense why clutter clearing is the thing to do instead. And the thing is, this idea is planted, the idea that you're going to feel better about yourself by spending money. There's a lot of money that goes into this effort of trying to separate you from your money when you're in a weak moment, and this is one of the bigger categories of that. And if you do go shopping, you'll see more of these messages, and they'll explain why, when you're in this vulnerable state that you're in, this product or that product is the one that you should buy. And in general, none of this is accurate. It's all calculated. It's a way to get your money. And the fact is, you've done this before. And so if you do it again, you're most likely just going to buy more stuff like the stuff you already have. And you already have stuff that's like the stuff you already have. You already have too much of it. That's part of why you're feeling embarrassed in the first place. So shopping is not the answer. And you probably have actually plenty of good stuff at home already. Getting clutter out of the way is actually one of the best ways to upgrade. It's not about buying new stuff usually. It's about taking away the lesser stuff that you have so that it's easier to see the better stuff that you have. But look at this world that wants you to go shopping and say, this is not the answer for me. I don't need more stuff. I need more clarity in my life. And that's what clutter clearing brings you. So how do you do this clutter clearing when you're in this low vibe state, when you're feeling ashamed or when you're embarrassed at your place or your stuff, or maybe some news has come in that you look at it and you say, well, this is proof that I'm really not all that. What am I going to do with myself? So these are not good feelings. And so how can you make anything at all of them? And first of all, the answer is it's always good to feel your feelings. If you try to distract yourself from them or run away from them, they're just going to come back. Sometimes you have to do that, but when you can engage constructively with your feelings, that's always better than trying to escape from them. And then the clutter clearing works really well because it creates this feeling that you're making things better. It reinforces that idea that you're a powerful person, an important agent in your life. You have the ability to make things happen for yourself. You're always doing that. Clutter clearing is one of the simplest ways to arrive at that. I mean, you can do it in a relatively short amount of time. And it really is progress. It helps add to this clarity in your life. that's the most important thing in overcoming this kind of emotion. So start by looking around where you are, take in what you see, and just tell yourself it's not really so bad. Really, you want to go to the point of accepting everything as it is and forgiving yourself, forgiving anyone else who helped make the place and your life the way you see it right in this moment. This acceptance and forgiveness is really important in all clutter clearing, but especially in this situation because it makes it easier to take the actions that are going to come next. In other words, it's hard to act out from a place of shame or embarrassment or any other similar emotion. It's easier to act when you feel good about things already. So you can even make a ritual out of accepting and forgiving the material conditions that are around you. But it's enough to look around and say, I am exactly where I need to be. I am doing great things. The material circumstances of my life are just evidence of that. I am at the right place at the right time. If you say affirmations like these while you're looking at your stuff, the stuff that's actually embarrassing to you, it does take the edge off of that embarrassment. So try that. You're going to accept where you are, forgive whatever past actions by yourself or anyone else put you in this situation, and then you'll be ready to move, ready to take action. And the next step is you're going to imagine another person seeing your place. Like if you've been in this place by yourself for a while and no one else has seen it, it's going to help to imagine someone else seeing it, and imagine a person who you love and respect and you like their opinions, the way they see things. And you can completely make up a person if that's what it takes. But imagine this other set of eyes looking at the same place. This is pivotal for this whole exercise, because what you're going to do, instead of taking actions that make your place look better to yourself, you're going to think of this other person seeing your stuff, seeing your life, seeing you in your material surroundings, and you're going to improve that picture that that other person has of your circumstances. So obviously you're going to find more stuff, probably everywhere you look, you're going to find something about your surroundings that's kind of embarrassing. And this isn't just your clutter. I mean, and you shouldn't limit it to just your clutter, but it's mostly going to be the material things around you. But it's like, in my case, I might look in the mirror and say, well, maybe I should have shaved today and maybe I could be wearing cleaner clothes, or whatever the detail is. Go ahead and change any detail you see that is going to make you feel better about yourself and where you are right now. But you'll land soon enough on your clutter. And then when you're looking at the clutter, the key thing in this circumstance is to work with one thing at a time. So, in the simple case, you're going to find something on a shelf, something that you really shouldn't own at all at this point, and it's really of no use to anyone. So you're going to pick that up and you're going to take that out to the trash. So something simple like that, you're working with one thing at a time. Sometimes you can pick up 2 or 3 things at a time, all going to the same place. But the point is, you don't want to do anything that will make a mess if you're already embarrassed at where you are. So if you're feeling embarrassed, you're not wanting to add to that by making a mess. And often in clutter clearing, it's efficient to take everything off of a shelf and go through it and sort it out in a physical way. And this is not the time to take that kind of approach. Work with one thing at a time so that you're not making things worse. And so you're going to pick up this one thing, you're going to do whatever whatever action makes it better. And maybe it's just to dust it if it's dusty. Maybe you have a book on a shelf, the book is dusty, you're going to take the dust off the book, put it back on the shelf. But the point is, by working with just one thing at a time, you're making progress, and it's just going to look better with every action that you take. And that's important here, because when you're feeling shame or embarrassment, the thing is to demonstrate your power, and you're going to get a little bit of momentum here by taking one action after another that makes things look better. And even if there's no practical consequence to this right away, it still shows that you have power. You can take an action, make a change, take another action, make another change. So you do this with one thing, and then when you're completely done with that, you find the next thing, you do whatever you're doing with that, and so on. One thing at a time, one thing after another. And you can keep going with this for a while, maybe for 10 minutes, maybe for an hour or two. But then stop when you're starting to feel some relief from the embarrassment, from the shame. When you're starting to say, maybe I really am onto something here. Maybe I do have some power. Maybe I'm a worthy person after all. It's starting to actually look like that. So when you're feeling that kind of relief, you're feeling a little bit better in an emotional sense. That's a good point to stop, or at least take a break from this clutter clearing effort. And of course, you can always come back to clutter clearing at any time you feel inspired to do so. But then before you go away from the clutter clearing, do the acceptance and the forgiveness all over again. That's the thing we started off with, looking around, looking at your material circumstances and saying you're exactly where you need to be, everything is working out for you, you're at the right place at the right time, doing the right things. You need to do this again at the end, in my opinion, because your material circumstances have changed since you started on this little clutter clearing exercise. So you just say the same things again. Everything that brought me to this point is perfectly fine, and the fact that I'm here proves that. You say things like this while you're looking around at your stuff. It helps you get ready for whatever your next action is going to be, and it helps you feel better about where you are and what you've just done. So that's the whole process. You're going to accept and forgive. You're going to imagine another person seeing your space. You're going to find one way to make that view of your space a little better. It doesn't have to be much better, just better. And then you're going to do that one thing, and then you're going to do the next thing, and you're going to keep doing one thing at a time. And then when you're feeling some relief, you're going to stop, you're going to accept and forgive again. And you'll find that you've cleared some clutter, and you've cleared a lot of this feeling of embarrassment or shame. So good luck if you try that. Let me know in the comments how that went.